Good morning, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Mike and Kim here, winging it again.
Oh, we got a good one this morning. It's Saturday morning, so...
We're not out in service today.
Yeah,
Imagine
feels
that.
Great. We're sitting here having some tea, and got a T-shirt here.
Blame my parents.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just a couple of interesting things before we get into the meat of this one. We've had a couple of emails and comments now that says Mike reminds them of Bruce Dern.
Okay.
And I know he's a bad guy in a lot of westerns and stuff.
Really,
and he's a really good actor.
That's not a promotional bell ringer, friends. Bruce Dern?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
So one of the things that I like to do is probably, I know who Bruce Dern is, and thank you. If you really think I remind you of Bruce Dern, let's just go with that for this particular segment. One of the best things I've ever seen Bruce Dern do was in a movie, Down Periscope, with Kelsey Grammer, Rip Torn, who's that actress right there? I forget her name. She was the one that was married to that comedian, Jim Carrey.
Lauren Holly.
Lauren Holly. It's got a really good cast of characters. But one of the scenes, and it's the opening scene, and this is Bruce Dern. He kind of still plays, not so much the bad guy, but the one that's opposed to Kelsey Grammer getting his own submarine command. So the scene goes something like this. All the Admiralty is sitting around a table, and this is the third time Commander Dodge, played by Kelsey Grammer, comes up for a promotion to get his own submarine. And then Bruce Dern says, he's actually fighting against Kelsey Grammer getting his own command. He says, there is physical evidence that as an ensign, Dodge became so intoxicated that he not only allowed himself to be tattooed, but tattooed on his genitalia. Now, call me prude if you want, but I don't think it's good policy for the Navy to be handing over a $1 billion piece of equipment to a man that has "Welcome aboard" tattooed on his penis. That's the funniest thing I ever seen him do. So, there it is.
Yeah. So now we've got a good one. This is a few years old, but this is from a KM. Now, we know there are a lot of non-witnesses who are watching our videos now, and thank you, everyone, for watching our videos.
We're glad that we can be of assistance to you.
Yeah, and we're glad you guys find us humorous. We have the policy that, might as well be funny and still get your point across. Yeah. But anyway, for those of you who have never been witnesses, this is what a kingdom ministry looks like. And it's just a little tiny, little flyer.
Leaflet, yeah.
Only publishers get this.
Yeah.
And this is what they study on their service meeting, usually on Tuesday or Thursday nights. And it's interesting because, there's always something in here that isn't normally in their literature that's available to public. And, in fact, this is where the blood fractions came out of.
And this is also the one that they, in their service meeting on either Tuesday, Thursday, whatever night they have it on, this is also what they use to prompt the Jehovah's Witness on a Saturday morning by having these little sample presentations. So you'll get two people up on a stage and they'll demonstrate how Watchtower will put the words in your mouth for Saturday morning service.
So they tell you what to say.
They tell you, and then they feature an article in the Waco Watchtower magazine, and that's how the program works. So those of you who are not familiar with the Kingdom Ministry, years ago it was called the Kingdom Service, but now it's the Kingdom Ministry.
Yeah, so we call them KMs.
KMs.
So when we refer to KMs, this is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And if anyone has the Watchtower Library on CD-ROM, the KMs are available, up to whatever year CD-ROM you have.
And they are not available on jw.org, is that correct?
No. I have never seen a KM on jw.org. In fact, when it got to the point to where the elders did not want to send me my KMs when I was still an active witness, because see, my health problem, I couldn't go to actual meetings. I had to get the phone time.
So we were missing quite a few of these.
That's how we missed the one about the blood fractions, because we were also in the process of moving from Wisconsin, back to the Southwest. But anyway, we came across this gem, and this is from a February 1989 KM, and it's under the our identification as Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, we find this interesting, and I know most of you Jehovah's Witnesses are going to think, well, what's wrong with this? Why are you picking this apart?
Watch.
We'll get into that.
Watch. This is going to be a promotional bell ringer. Let me tell you.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this. It's just a couple of paragraphs.
Start right at the first because I want to get to this point right here.
Yeah, because there's several points in here that we just have to discuss.
Yes, this is another part of that manufactured ignorance. Okay, manufactured ignorance. This is how it works.
Yeah, and if you're seeing this video before you see
the other one, you won't know what I'm talking about.
The other one where he explains the difference between manufactured and accidental ignorance is in our response to viewers' comments, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this. As ministers of the good news, we are known publicly as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay, we are known publicly as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, and we'll get more into this. Our voluntary participation in the field service is motivated by love of God and neighbor. It is not carried on at the insistence of any man or organization.
Hold it right there. It's not carried on by an insistence of any man or organization. Then Jehovah's Witnesses, who are you turning your monthly field service time into? Think. Watchtowers right here is discrediting themselves as an organization, so you have no reason to turn time in no more. Yeah. Think about what their circular reasoning. That is manufactured ignorance.
God does not require you to turn in time. He knows how much time you're putting. He knows,
but the organization that is not carried on by is requiring you to turn in your field service report.
And you JW defenders, he also knows whether you're on the computer arguing with apostates.
Oh, yeah.
Counting time for that which you're not supposed to.
That's right.
Or if you're actually out and door to door. Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not carried on, but it is according to our God-given commission to preach the good news and make disciples. Therefore, publishers do well to avoid representing themselves as agents or representatives of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York or any other corporation used by the faithful and discreet slave to advance kingdom interests.
This is not done by an organization, so you are not representatives of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society or any other corporation of... Oh my good, do you see the manufactured ignorance, people? I mean, I have a terrible time with that. This is manufacturing your own ignorance right here. You're not organized to do the good work, so you are not part of the organization that organizes you to do the organizational work. I mean, if you're not part of the organization, then why are you placing their Watchtower literature? Come on, figure it out.
We'll get that into a minute. I think Mikey's getting riled up.
Well, I mean, there again, like I explained in that last video, I have a terrible time with manufactured ignorance.
Okay, so in case of an accident or an emergency, or if problems are encountered while working trailer parks, apartments, or certain other territory, publishers may need some form of personal identification beyond giving their name, along with a brief scriptural explanation of the nature of our religious work.
Indoctrination into the cult is what the nature of the work is.
Yeah, and yet you're not supposed to say you're an agent or representative of Watchtower.
How do you get around that type of ignorance?
Okay, I think Kimmy is getting confused about what they're saying here again.
I think so too.
No comprende, dumbass.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I live? Okay.
Somewhere up in
Nature
here.
of our religious work. If questioned or when asked for credentials.
Hey. Eagles. Listen, did they see? Now I didn't read this whole thing. Did they really say
right there
when asked for credentials? Oh, good Lord! When will the madness end?
Just hold up your Bible. This is my credential.
This is my credential. Oh
Okay.
no! Wait! This is my credential.
Okay. Baptized publishers may use the identification card X65 signed by the presiding overseer, which shows one is preaching the good news of the kingdom in association with the local congregation named on the card. And then they say a supply of identification cards which may be issued to baptized publisher when there is a need. And it goes on. Okay, if any publishers use a personal name card in connection with their field service activities, they should not print thereon that they are representatives of the Watchtower Society. Okay, now we just actually happen to have one of those cards, and this is what they look like.
Now, I personally do not remember these. I just don't remember those. And I'm kind of wondering if this wasn't a preemptive thing to their advanced medical directive card. The blood card, because inside here, it does say in paragraph 2, I am one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay, so now we want to get, and I have the 2005 organization book here.
Manufactured ignorance at its best.
Drink your tea, sweetie. Breathe. Calm down. Okay, so the 2 questions that they ask baptism candidates there at the convention and assemblies, when you stand up, you have to answer these 2 questions. And I know we've gone over these before, but I want to focus on question number 2. Do you understand that your dedication and baptism identify you as one of Jehovah's Witnesses in association with God's Spirit-directed organization? So you're identified as one of Jehovah's Witnesses
with the organization
in association or agent with God's Spirit-directed organization.
But right up here in 89 in the KN, they said it is not carried on at the insistence of any man or organization. Do you see the manufactured ignorance, people?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, therefore, publishers do well to avoid representing themselves as agents or representatives of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society. Watchtower, what the hell?
What I mean, if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you're watching this, it has got to make sense. And if you're going to post on this pro Watchtower, then you're just showing how ignorant you are, because this is doublespeak at its very finest. Either you represent the organization or you don't. If you do not represent the organization, then why in God's green earth are you placing this?
Well,
there's no point to it.
The minute you walk up to someone's door, whoops.
That's okay.
The minute you walk up to someone's door and you're offering these, you are a representative of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. You know, this alone, and it's got, Watchtower Bible Tract Society all over it. And in the inside cover here, Watchtower Bible, printed by the Watchtower Bible, you are a representative and agent of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society.
But yet,
no matter how they slice it, dice it, serve it up.
But yet, the issue at hand really becomes this. As a representative of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, when you're out in the field ministry, if you get attacked by a dog, if you get shot at, I've been in car groups where brothers in the past have been shot at. The issue at hand is that when you get hurt doing this organizational work, they will completely disavow you. In other words, the organization will not back you up. You are left to the wolves. You are screwed. That's what this is coming down to.
And, if you happen to go, if you're door to door and you go on a property that has do not trust, no trespassing or any signs like that, do not enter, anything like that, if those householders call the cops, you can be fined and have to go to court to explain why you're trespassing and, disobeying these signs. Watchtower will not back you up any way.
So why are you doing it? If the organization that demands a certain amount of time per month to remain active members, and that only takes 1 hour, people. 1 hour a month, and you're considered an active Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay? So if the organization is not going to recognize you as part of the organization when you get hurt doing this work, then why are you doing it? You're not doing it for God. You're doing it for the organization.
Yeah.
That's the whole crux of it. You are not doing this for God. You're doing it for the organization.
Yeah, exactly. And also, we know now that some ex-witnesses, like if they get disfellowshipped or, treated badly or something like that, that in these court cases, they are holding the elders responsible. And if elders are sued, the Watchtower will not back them up. They basically say you're on your own.
You're on your own. So, do you belong to an organization or not? We got the evidence right here. Here's the KM.
Yeah.
February 1989, paragraphs 3 and 4, entitled Our Identification as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, I just remembered another article. You keep them entertained while I grab that.
What? I don't have no more parts from down Periscope. Hey, somebody find Buckman and launch him out a torpedo tube. There's one. That was right after Buckman kind of let a air biscuit float, and it was, woo. That's all I can remember right now. Was that entertaining long enough?
Yeah, you're quite entertaining
Buckman!
Here. Okay, so this is from a 1957 Awake, and I happen to remember this because I keep this on my wall here. It's from an April 22nd, page 12. And I don't have the name of the article. But anyway, at the very last paragraph, it says, how can one join Jehovah's Witnesses? And I thought this was interesting because it says there's no organization to join, no membership rules, no dues to pay. To become one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you study God's Word, get an understanding of it, then preach it along with others of Jehovah's Witnesses. So meet with them, study with them, learn the Bible truths, obey those principles and commands, and gain everlasting life and happiness in Jehovah God's new world of righteousness. There's no organization to join?
Then you don't have to turn in time. If you're not organized, you don't need to turn in field service time.
I don't know about you, dear, but they wouldn't let me go out and service with them until I was an unbaptized publisher.
That's right. You have to go through questions to become an unbaptized publisher. So you do have to join something, don't you? You have to know the answers to those questions in order to go from door to door. See, you can't go preaching based on God's Spirit. You have to go preaching based on what Watchtower, the organization, indoctrinates you to say.
Okay, so then this very first line, I've got an issue with this one. There's no organization to join, no membership roles. Okay, then why is question number 2 that you're identifying yourself as one of Jehovah's Witnesses associated with his Spirit-directed organization?
It's in the baptism question. Do you see, people? This is manufactured ignorance.
And it's hypocrisy.
It's
hypocrisy at its best, and that circular reasoning that we've talked about before.
So I think we should leave this dead horse alone and let the JW apologists have a field day with this one.
Yeah.
Because I've got some more manufactured ignorance on another video that a JW apologist emailed us, and I'm going to have a field day with that one.
You got Mikey right.
Yep. I'm going to have a field day with it.
We're just saying,
Bye.